digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of king and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Good morning and good morning and welcome to THFC Till I Die. An early start for us, yes, on Champions League match day. Yeah, it is an early one. Don't normally do really early streams, but I thought after last night having a bit of technical issues, I would bring you to this after the presser live this morning. It was an interesting press conference as we build up, and I can't. The sun's bloody with the green screen because what you don't see. I've got a massive green screen behind me here, and my sliding doors are there, and it's really sunny. Beautiful morning here in Wexford, here in the southeast of Ireland. The sun is splitting the trees, so a beautiful morning. I hope your day is as nice as mine is this morning. I hope you're up early, had your cup of coffee, and doing the things that you love doing. And we're going to go over the press conference. We're going to go over a little bit of news that broke yesterday as well. I'm going to have a press conference over the next sort of half hour or so. Then we're back on at 12:30 with the predicted lineup. Something I'm going to try and bring you live on these evening match days as well. So it gives you a match day preparations, a little bit more exciting here on the channel. And then, of course, from 7:30, we are live with the watch along. And then from 10:10, we are live with instant match reactions as we go over the game we had just seen as Spurs travel to Monaco away in this Champions League, where we have not had a great record in the past. Last two visits there in Europe, we have lost both times. So we've drawn one and lost one. So, with all the injuries that are out as well, it's going to be a very, very difficult night. Big up to Paul G, who's joined me early this morning. Big up to you. Hope you're doing well, sir. Great to see you in the chat. If you are new watching, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscription button if you can. It does help us grow, and it helps us on our way to 3K. Look, we're hoping to get there before the end of the season. Well, let's crack on with it. Yes, we are starting with the first bit of Spurs news. Tottenham confirmed new appointment as Lewis family revamp continues. Tottenham Hotspur have announced the appointment of Dan Lewiden. He was part of the City group. He's now come over from there to Tottenham, and he will oversee medical, sports science, nutrition, psychology departments across the men's, women's, and the academies team. I think the one that we really want him to focus on is the medical department, where I feel for years it's not been looked after, really, to be fair. And it's been a lot of jokes between Tottenham fans over players being injured and being out for a long time. We do know that under Ange, that the chief medical officer did resign because he disagreed what the manager had to say over players. And it hasn't been right since. And we know players have been injured out longer than they should have been. So let's hope now he can come in and change the situation. He does come from the City group, so he's part of the Manchester City setup. So somebody to get somebody off him, off them, and the great experience that he brings, I think is going to be absolutely crucial for us going forward. And with science, sports science also playing a massive part of the game today, I think it is important we have the right people in the right place doing the jobs that they can do, and hopefully we can move forward on that. Let's get on with the press conference, though. He did have his press conference last night, and the first question was asked, Christian, this is the team news for you. Christian Romero has been ruled out with an abductor strain, and Destiny Udogie as well has not travelled as he has a knee irritation. The usual suspects, of course, out as well. We've got Kulu out, we've got James Maddison out. With both, Kulu should be back around December. James Maddison could be out for the season, but looking to come back before the end of the season. And we've got a few other Dragson's out as well. And so we've got a few players out. I think 10 in total are out injured at the moment from this squad. So it's a lot of players out, not fully fit or not fit at all. And that at half 12, you will see that will reflect my predicted lineup that I'm bringing you live at half 12. But you had to be creative with it. And I've changed the formation as well, because I think we do need to change that as well. He was asked on Romero's injury. He says it's an adductor strain. We will assess him this week, and then we'll know more. I think we'll know more on Friday, over the next few days, if it's a long-term injury or we can be back for the away game against Everton on Sunday. It is a big miss. He really is a big miss. He's our captain. He's our leader. And it is not great. Look, Danso's not bad. Danso's not Romero, but he's not bad either. So, it is one of those things. Injuries does come with the game, but it's just frustrating because we do miss him when he doesn't play. He was then asked about Xavi. He says, basically, he was asked about Xavi's performances. He says there's a very good player coming into a new country, new club, new city, which I get. I do get that. I do get a young player coming into a new culture, into a new area, a new league, a new system under a new manager. It's going to take some players time to settle in and develop, but other players settle in quicker. He should have settled in a little bit more by now, in my opinion, but he's such a good player. I think we should give him the time. New City, we're all getting judged every game, and fans do, and maybe I'm critical of it as well. We're very quick to jump on players' backs if they don't perform, especially new players, and we expect them to hit the ground running. And sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes these young players do need a bit of time to adjust, do need a little bit of time to get used to their area. And it's like when you move house or you move into a new area, it takes you a while to get used to how to get into where the local shops are, where stuff are. So I can understand, not the same thing, but I'm just using it as an example, that maybe that's why it's taken him a little bit longer, that he's not used to the system. The Premier League's a lot faster than the Bundesliga as well. So it will take him a bit of time to get used to it. It says we're all getting judged every game, but we need to see the bigger perspective, there were some good bits. Asking him to arrive in the box, he did. It's constantly going in the right direction. So that's all you want. You want it going into the right direction. You want it keep going in the right area. So, look, for me, I just we will see the best of Xavi Simmons. I think it's going to take a little bit of time, but we will see the best of him. He was asked for an update on Destiny Udogie. He says the latest is that he's got a knee irritation. We're assessing it and working hard to get on top of it. We'll know more day by day. Another one that could be back on Sunday. But I don't want to rush these players back. If they're injured, I don't want them rushing them back for the sake of rushing them back. And then getting re-injured again. It's just pointless. So we've got to do it right and do it once, do it right. He was asked about our waveform. I was mentioning it there in one of the shows that I did yesterday or on Monday night when I did with Tequila, that on waveform alone, we're top of the Premier League away form with no defeats. And we think we've picked up sort of like 10 points away from home. He was asked about that. It says away form has been very good. We've been good in the football foundations. We have a good base and the middle low block. We're one of the most progressive teams in the final third. We need to do the same tomorrow against a very good team. If they could adapt how they play, pardon me, if they could adapt how they play away, and do that playing at home, I think we would see a very different Tottenham side. We seem to play too defensive at home, but away there's a bit more freedom. I just some of these players I think don't play well under pressure, especially at home. Then there is more pressure at you at home to come out to attack the away team. It's on you to set the tempo. When you're away at home, you can sit back and just say, "Well, we'll grab a point here if we can, lads. Forget a win, that's a bonus." But yeah, our away form has been fantastic. Not all games have been great, and Bodo for one wasn't great. So look, it's not perfect, but our away form is far better than our home form at the moment. So he was asked about that. It was asked on Brendan Johnson, and for this, for me, I read this a couple of times, and I'm still thinking, what I'd love to know what the manager is seeing when it comes to Brendan Johnson. He's been woeful when he comes on. He's been wasteful as well. You go back to the chance he had on Sunday, where against Villa, where he could have just pumped it back into the box. The ball came down. He had all the time in the world. He could have just brought it down. He could have just set himself up. If he couldn't find the pass, have a crack, but he didn't. He sort of hit it early, and it ballooned over, and it was such a chance to get back. At least to grab a point out of that. And I just don't know what he's seen in him, but he's turned around. He said he's a very important player, such an important goal last season. We can't keep living off last season. We can't keep living off what he did in the Europa League final. We can't keep doing that. Top scorer, yeah, give him credit for that, but I mean, if you had better strikers, would he be top goal scorer? No. Started the season well here. He hasn't started the season well, and I don't know why. Thomas Frank, I will criticize him here. I don't know what he's seeing. I'm being honest with you. I do not. I'd love to know what he's seeing. I'd love to know the data he's using to say to me he started this season well. He hasn't started the season well. He's not an important player because every time he comes on, he doesn't do anything. Now, maybe the data is saying something else. Maybe the data is bringing out other numbers that is making Thomas Frank say these things, said what he said, but I cannot see it. The eyes don't lie. The eyes for me are the test. And for me, Brennan Johnson has been woeful. Brennan can play both. He cannot play on both feet. He cannot play both in left and the right because he's not a winger. Again, it's the data telling you. It's the data telling you something, and our eyes are lying to us because I'm sorry, he cannot play in the wing. He has, sorry, he has done good on the right and on the left. Wilson has done well. Look, Wilson Odegaard showed more endeavor in trying to take on this man. Okay, his final product isn't great, but he's shown more when he's come on than Brendan Johnson ever does. So please tell me, Thomas Frank, what are you watching, man? What are the numbers telling you? Because the numbers are lying to you. He has not been good this season. I asked the question, should he be sold? And I will put it as a poll probably for tonight's watch along. But I just don't know what he's watching, man. I'm sorry, Thomas. Look, I respect you're the manager. You're the Spurs manager. You get a lot more information than we do as fans. You see them in training every day of the week. You got the data numbers there from the last game or how the numbers from training. But please tell me why you're saying he's good, he can play both left or he cannot play either. He's useless as a winger. All he wants to do is pull funny faces. Dave Harris has alluded to this more than once. All he wants to do is pull funny faces in behind and try to be funny. I'm sorry, he should concentrate on his job, go out there and train and learn how to cross a ball. I'm sorry. I agree with everything else he said so far, but this part of the press conference, I'm sorry, Thomas Frank, you are so wrong. Big up to Paul G. The home record is shocking. It is. Change that, and we're in a very, very good. I agree. If we can change the home form, we're not in a bad position. And I think a lot of some of this negativity that's going around at the moment because of our bad home form, that a lot of people are maybe that will go away. So look, for me, yeah, I agree. Totally agree. Big up to Big Bad Ron and picture of Captain Romero there. I'm bored of his football and his excuses already. So if I'm right, Big Bad Ron, can I ask you a question? Are you now Frank out? Just general question. Are you Frank out already? How long more will we have to wait for Colo to play 90 minutes? Look, he's been injured. He wasn't fit. He wasn't fit and he hasn't been fit. So there's no point playing a player who's not fit. It really isn't. And I think we will. I'm hoping tonight we might see him get a start. I'm not saying who's in my predicted lineup, but I think tonight you may see that. It looks like it's like everything that's done at this club to make us weaker as team. I don't really agree. But look, as I said, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Big up to Shamu. Won't be able to tune in tomorrow. Hopefully, some good news up there tomorrow. Hopefully for you, sir. Hopefully. Big up to Big Brian Johnson. Short circuits every game like C3PO from Star Wars. Yeah, he has not been good. But also he hasn't been fit. He didn't get a preseason at PSG either. So if you think a player's been loaned in, he hasn't had a preseason, he's unfit. He is fit, but he's not match fit. So I can understand why it's taken it. Like, look, he came on Sunday against Villa. Not the greatest cameo, if I can admit, in the world, but maybe we haven't seen the best from him yet. Maybe as he get fitter, we may see we may see the best of him. It's his Dermot. It only takes about 3 games to get fit with training. I get you. I do understand. I do understand what you're saying, but I get it. I get you're sick of the excuses. I get it. Look, I get it. I think a lot of people, some people are. I'm sort of still in the middle of it. I'm not judging any either. I think it's too early to judge either way. But we can go down the road of sacking another manager or turning on another manager so quick. I just think it'd be folly, and I think we'd be shooting ourselves in the foot. We really will. Yeah, you do, and that's a good point. You do get fit by playing more games. I agree with you 100%. I think you're right in that, and I think it's a very good point. But we just have to wait and see. He may come good. He was asked on these technical setups. He said it was not the system. It's not the system, it's the guiding principles. Performances have been overall competitive. We need to act extra layers. I get what he's saying when he says it's not the system. I think it is the system in a way, because you cannot play a defensive system when you're playing at home to the same system you're playing away. If you're playing away from home, then yeah, you play with 2 players in the pivot. You play with a number 8 and then you've got your 3 players up front. I think at home you have to be a bit more progressive. You have to be a little bit more adventurous in your style and in your setup. I get it, but I get it. He has to add extra layers to it. The players are still getting used to it, and he has to adapt. But I think he could be a little bit better in his approach at home. I think he's a bit too cautious, and I think sometimes that can go against you, especially in your home games. And that's it. That was the press conference. Basically, that was all that was said. I'm going to turn my camera off because because the sunlight isn't working, so it's not fair on you guys. Look, I want to go through some of the chat and see what you guys are saying as well. We've got Big Bad Ron said people are fed up with it, Dermot. It's like this club doesn't want to progress. I get it. I get people are frustrated. I think it's a little bit of an overreaction. Personally, I think you cannot just jump on the bandwagon and say we want another manager out. You can't go down that road because we'd be shooting ourselves in the foot. It's just pointless. But everyone's entitled to their opinion. Everyone sees the game differently to how we see it. And I think other people are giving them time. I think other people are fed up with it. Mia, who I was talking to yesterday, was at the game on Sunday. And she said it was slightly boring. Now, when we scored against Villa on Sunday, we sat back straight away, which we shouldn't have done. We should have gone for the second goal, if I'm being honest. And we didn't. We sat back. I think Lewis, the big up to the real N7 year Lewis. Big up to you. Hope you're doing well. He says it showed on Sunday after we scored. We ran out of ideas. We did. We did run out of ideas. I don't disagree with you. But I also agree with Paul G as well when he says we win on the weekend, we would have been second. Yeah, I agree. The Premier League is it's so tight at the moment. It really is. No team. I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and who was saying it? Somebody was saying it yesterday. I forget. A Big Bad Run. Please leave Paul G alone. Come on, man. Everyone's entitled. Let's not fight amongst ourselves in the chat and come in and we understand your position, but everybody else is allowed their position. So please don't start. He's not a troll. I think that's a bit unfair, if I'm being honest. I know you're not happy, but I think Paul is right in what he's saying as well. And you're right in what you're saying, and Paul's right in what he's saying. That the Premier League is a little bit, I would say, a little bit. I think no team is really taking advantage of it. I think everyone is so tight at the moment. It really is tight. And we're sixth place. If somebody said to you after 7 or 8 games you'd be in sixth place, only sort of 3 points off second place, and you'll be 4 points off. I think we're 4 points off. Let me check the league table for you guys. I think we're only 4 points off the top of the league. Let me check. Oh, dear. Right, Spurs, 14. 14. Okay. I don't know where the points are. Where are the points? Give me the points, Premier League table. Right. Look, Arsenal are on 19th and we're on 14th. So we're only 5 points behind. Right? We're only 15. We're only 2 points behind Man City. If you really look at it, right, everywhere from 9th, from Manchester United in 9th to Man City in 2nd, there's 3 points separating 8 teams. Okay, you can class Brighton and Villa. Villa are in 11th on 12 points. So you're looking at 4 points from 11th to 2nd. There's only 4 points covering them teams, them 9 teams or 10 teams. It's so tight. It's so tight. It really is. And if you think Bournemouth really shouldn't be there, so you count Bournemouth out, so Spurs would be in 5th place. You look at Sunderland as well. Should Sunderland be there? Sunderland have had a great start to the season, but there's only like 4 points, 3 points between us and Arsenal. 2 points, 3 points for a win. You're in 2nd place. I think if you look at it, we're in a very good place. And if somebody had said that to me at the start of the season, by the 8th game, you will be only 2 points off 2nd place, I think I would have grabbed that. I would have taken that. I would have taken that all day long. I have standards. I just think we need to be realistic. I agree. We finished 17th last season. We're 6th currently. Yeah, I've just said that. We're 2 points off 2nd. And if you look between Villa in 13th and Man City in 2nd, there's what, 5 points between that? There's 5 points covering, well, between 4 and 5 points covering the top 13. Well, from 2nd to 13th. It's very tight. And it's not a usual Premier League season where everyone's out, one team or 2 or 3 teams are outperforming everyone. Arsenal may be top, but I think it's going to get tighter and tighter and tighter. And I think we're in the mix. I really do. Big up to Archer. The owners will provide just enough quality to have a good chance of making Europe. If we make Champions League, we have overachieved, then that's enough to get more revenue, but not competing for cups. You know what, Archer? I do agree with you on that. I do feel the owners have to really now put the money where their mouth is and really prove what they mean. Prove that they're here to really make the team successful. So I agree with you 100%. Big Brad Ron says, what kind of manager starts with telling Odegaard both players need to go out on loan? They're rubbish. A manager that needs to manage a squad that isn't big enough. And that's the, if you're looking for a reason, that's the honest reason for it. We've got players out injured, so what you're supposed to do? I get you frustrated, but I don't think we're as bad as a lot of people are making us out to be. I'm being honest. Frank should be starting his most experienced senior players, not children who are champ. Yeah, well, okay. Well, Ben Davies is out with a muscle injury. He's our most experienced centre back then, or left back, so he's out with a muscle injury. You've got Romero, who pulled up before the game on Sunday, so he was out injured. You're saying Danso's not an experienced player? We've got 10 players out injured at the moment. He's got a squad. Well, you'd be glad to know that Tell's not playing tonight. He's not even including Champions League. But he can only pick which players are available. And at the moment, not a lot. Tell and Odegaard our Conference League. I agree with you with Tell, right? Tell's frustrating. Odegaard, I'm going to stick my neck on the line for Odegaard. I think if he sorts out his end product, I think we've got an exciting player on our hands. Big Baron says we're at home, Dermot. This is 2 losses in a row. I get it. We're frustrated. And I get it. It's 2 losses in a row. But I think we need to be careful of really overreacting. If you look at the game Sunday, right? If you were looking at that game as a neutral on Sunday, take your Tottenham hat off and look at it as a neutral fan. Both teams were poor on Sunday. Vicario didn't even have a save to make in the whole game. We only got done because of 2 worldy goals. One where players made slight mistakes. I think Bentancur or Mickey van der Ven should have closed in. For the second goal, Danso slipped. So look, I think for 1 or 2 mistakes, I think we could have won that 1-0. Should we have done better? Yes, we should have done better. Should we have been a bit more aggressive? Yes, we should have been, but we were too aggressive last season, and people were complaining we were too aggressive last season. Now we're too defensive. I agree there has to be a happy medium, but I think there's also a case where we shouldn't really be overreacting. A lot of people had us down struggling this season, so to be where we are with only 2 points off 2nd, and sitting in 6th place, I think, I do think we need to be careful of overreacting, but I get it. It's frustrating. Nobody likes to lose. Nobody likes to lose, especially nobody likes to lose at home. I get it. I do understand what you're getting at. On a good day, Europa, that's been generous. I think Tequila would probably agree with you. I don't. I think if you're up there, then you're still within the fight until it's mathematically impossible for you to get anything Champions League and that. And there's lots of teams that I think the league's going to change a lot this year. I think we're going to have a really, really topsy-turvy Premier League this year. I really do think that. Shamu, big up. Mikey Moore is better. Well, I think Mikey Moore going to Rangers was a disaster straight off. I think Mikey Moore should have been pulled out of that by now. And I think Tottenham are really not looking at his best interests. I think it was a circus up there. It was an intimidating atmosphere. I think it was wrong loaning him out. He should have been kept within the first team squad. I think Ashley Phillips as well, and I think Donnelly as well should have been kept around the first team squad, get first team minutes, but send them out on loan again. Our young players don't get a proper crack at playing in the first team. And I think if you look at some of the players that are playing in the first team, would Mikey Moore, would a James Donnelly, would a Alfie Devine, would a Ashley Phillips do better than some of these as senior players? I think, yes, they would do. And I think they would do. I'm not saying Dean Scarlett's going to be the next Harry Kane, but I know Rayman keeps telling me, Dermo, they should start Dean Scarlett. Well, there's a reason why they're not starting these youngsters, because some of them aren't. Probably the manager doesn't think they're ready, or some managers think they're not good enough. So it's hard to know. It really is. Um, it's 2 losses in a row, kid. Don't have any facts in lockers. Just be nice to everyone. Come on. To me, it's the way you exactly, and I agree with this. To me, it's the way we lose. It's the way that we lose games, and that's the it's frustration. And I understand everyone's frustrated. Everyone's frustrated in the way we're playing, in the way that we're performing, especially at home. I get it, but I do feel that some fans, we need to stop overreacting or quickly hitting the limiter that we want Frank out, or this is bad, or we need to be, we're under a new regime, under a new manager. I think we can't go down the road of just getting rid of another manager. It doesn't work. It really doesn't work. What about having to earn your place in the team nowadays? It's like I think that's still a case. I just feel that football's different now. We can't. I'm guilty of looking back at the old days and looking back at when football was football, and I think the game's changed. So, yeah, get a big up to you, Rain Man. Hope you're doing well, and big up to you, sir. Did I hear something say Dean Scarlett? I know you're a big Dean Scarlett fan. I know you are. Look, my opinion on Dean Scarlett, right? I don't think he's ready. I don't think he's top. I don't think he's Premier League potential. I really don't. I think the kid's more Championship, or a bit like Troy Parrott, go to another league like the Dutch league and something that he may. I think he might cut it there. I know you're a big fan of Dean Scarlett, and I know you have a different opinion to him to me, and I really appreciate that, and I like that, but I just don't think I just don't think he's Premier League level. It's a shame, really, because he has the potential, he had the talent, and maybe I ask you a question, Rain Man. Is he? Is it because, and maybe this is go for some of the youth players as well? Have have we failed these youth players in their sort of development? Have managers that were here before stopped their growth? Is it our fault? Is it the club's fault? And I think it is. I really do. I do feel it's our fault, and I do feel as a club where you look at other clubs promote their youth players in, they develop them, they look after them. have we been guilty of not doing enough for our own players? I would be interested to know what you talk. I think we have. I think we've been guilty of that, and I think that needs to change. I really do. If you look at Liverpool, you look at Manchester City, you look at other clubs, they bring their young players in and they develop them, they look after them, and they give them plenty of game time. They don't go out. Other clubs don't send their youngsters on loan as much as we do. We keep sending our players out on loan, the young players out on loan, where really and truly they should be playing in the Premier League. They should be getting Premier League minutes. They should be getting minutes in cup games, in Premier League games, in early Champions League games, and let them get the experience. But we don't do that. We keep putting them out on loan, and we keep, and they're gaining minutes, yes, but they're not gaining Premier League experience. And I think that's the fault of Tottenham. I think that's the fault of whatever development route they've been going down. I think it has to change, and hopefully under Paratici, hopefully that will change. Hopefully under the new regime that's there, hopefully that policy changes, because I think it doesn't help the players grow. It doesn't help them develop into Premier League footballers. And I think by the time they do start playing in the Premier League, then they're not prepared because they haven't had that experience of playing in the Premier League. So I do feel as a club we have failed some of these players. I think we have, and I think that has to change. Um, where we see now, big up to. I'm ignoring that plank. He's not the one that keep. I know. Just be nice to one another. That's all I ask. I do get it, Big Bad Ron. I do get it, man. I do get it. Just Paul G. Just be polite to one another. That's all I'm asking. Big up. Look, come on, man. Come on. If somebody called me a kid, I, wouldn't take it offensively. I'd probably laugh at it, but would we all like to be kids again? Of course we would. Who wants to be an adult and paying bills and having to go to work or paying your mortgages and that? As a kid, you have great fun. Don't get to pay bills. You don't get to pay mortgages. You don't have to work. You can chill out all day. Bring me back as a kid anytime. Be quite happy. Um, we need a proper squad now. This is a good point. Actually, we need a proper squad now. There's these players keep showing us that they're good enough. We need a proper clean out, and no team does well until they make the home a fortress. Exactly, 100%. It says I'm not a Dean Scarlett fan, but I just want us to develop academy players. I think that's the point I was making, Rayman. That I think we should be held accountable for the mistakes we've made under the players that we've had. Spend big money on young players and not I think we have to change that philosophy. I really do. Big up to Oscar Rodriguez. Big up to you, Oscar. Haven't seen you before, but please hit the like button. Please hit the subscription button if you can. I really would appreciate it. Monaco are unbeaten at home. They are unbeaten at home this season. Yes, Spurs are responsible for stunting the growth of academy players. Of course, they ain't Premier League 18-21. Sending them to League One Championship just teaches them to be, exactly. And if you look at the bigger teams, Rayman, you hopefully you agree with me with this. Very funny. Maybe you do agree with it. I agree with this. You put them out to League One Championship players. That's the mentality they're going to be at, and two to get to us, and then you have to give them time then to get used to Premier League. But I think we need to do it earlier. I really do. Big Brad Ron says, "I'm a kid with grey beard, so I'm a kid with grey hair." Anyway, Paul should see me come down his chimney for Christmas. That will be interesting. Oh dear. Yeah. Well, yeah, if you don't have a chimney, then you're a bit stuffed then, Big Bad Ron. How are you going to get down in? How are you going to get in to give Paul these presents then? You're a bit stuffed. You haven't got a chimney. I think you are agreeing with me, Dermot. I've been preaching that. Yeah, I have. I've been saying it for a long while. I've been thinking it for a long while. Maybe not saying it, but I said it like to other people. I think our youth policy, we've got it all wrong. You look at the youth players that came through the Paratici sort of first stint at the club. Are any of them in the first team? Most of them, well, Donnelly, Ashley, Phillips, Devine should be in the first team by now. Let's face it. Mikey Moore as well. I think sending Mikey Moore to Rangers was a bad move. And that when all the shit was happening up there, Tottenham should have dragged him out of there quickly. But guys, that is it. That is after the presser. We've went over the press conference from Thomas Frank. Now, going forward, this show will be done the day before a game. Now, if match day is 8 o'clock at night or 5:30, then I will do it on the morning of the game. The same with the predicted lineup. If the game's on if the game is at 3 o'clock, then the predicted lineup will be done as a pre-record. But if it's an 8 o'clock or 5:30 kickoff, I will always do them live, trying to make your match day build up to the game a little bit more interesting, give you something different that other channels don't. So don't forget, join me at 12:30. We have got the predicted lineup show live for you. And then, of course, we're back on at 7:30 with the watch along. And then at 10:10, we've got instant match reactions. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, we've got me and Dave's podcast, Irish Lads Talk Spurs. That's back tomorrow at 1. 4 o'clock, we have the player ratings. And then at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, we have final score, where we'll go over the game we've seen the night before, talk about it, sort of go a bit over the ratings as well. And also on Friday, for you members, we got pre-game thoughts before our game against Everton on Sunday. Saturday, we'll have your usual stuff coming out. Sunday morning, because it's a 4:30 kickoff, I will do predicted lineup live at 1 o'clock on Sunday, guys. So it's something different for you. Because our 4:30 kickoff, I would do it at 12 o'clock or 12:30 predicted lineup for you. After before the presser, after the presser will be done on Friday night at 10 o'clock. So that'll be brought live for you as well. So we've got a lot of content coming over on the next 4 days. The next 4 days coming for you, and to make your match day experience better, to give you the better build up, the better information, the better news. You'll find it all here on THFC Till We Die. I'll go over these last few comments and then we will end off there. Rayman says, how long do you think we're going to be injured for? I'm hoping he will be back for Sunday, Rayman. That's my gut. I will ask a question. I will try to find out for you, and maybe by 12:30 I may have an answer for you. Paul G says, should have put more in the Championship. I agree, or League One would have been better for his development. I don't think so. I think we should have kept him within the first team squad and kept him Premier League and given him Premier League minutes. I think that was the way to see Mikey Moore to really develop. I think he's done his league and Championship and League One sort of development. Now he has to go for a high league, and maybe putting him at Rangers in a top team in Scotland. The idea was good, but I think we could have, if he went to Celtic, I think he would have got better development than he would at Rangers. And that's not just because I'm a Celtic fan as well. I'm just saying, I just think his development would have been better at Celtic. Rangers, it was too toxic. And as soon as he got toxic, Tottenham should never have put him in there, because it's only going to stomp his development. If you weren't going to line him out, then keep him within the first team squad. Let him get used to it. Give him a proper full Premier League season as a squad player, and then let him try to make his mark into the first team. Lancashire has 4 goals in all competitions for Oxford. He's playing in Championship, so hoping he comes good. Again, another player we should have kept around Big Bad Run at Tottenham. Another player we should have kept within the squad. I think they've done enough loaning now to have to be squad players and earn their right to play in the first team. He has 3 in the Championship and 1 in the Cup. He's playing well for Oxford, I have to say. Rayman says, I disagree, Paul G. I don't think any of our candidates should go on loan until they hit 20 years or old earliest. Then we should aim for the Premier League top foreign loans. Yeah, I actually do agree with you, Rayman. You and me agreeing a lot lately, Rayman. It's just getting interesting. It's getting very interesting. But guys, do join me at 12:30 for the predicted lineup. See who I've picked. Have I changed the formation? That has been the question as well. Have I gone a little bit retro with the formation. I may have done. Well, join me at halftime to find out. Whatever you do, thank you for joining me. Hit the like button, hit the subscription if you can. And let me know if you want more of these early morning shows. Let me know if you like a 10 o'clock show. Let me know if you do. Let me know in the comments below. And we may do more of these 10 o'clock shows. Rayman, thank you so much. I am back at 12:30, so come and join me then as well for the predicted lineup. I want your views on my predicted lineup. Do you agree or disagree? You know, let me know. But guys, thank you all very much. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Come on, you Spurs. In Thomas Thankfully Road, we go and we never stop. Come on, you Spurs.